So I woke up this morning, got out of bed, went right to the shower, went to go brush my teeth, had a great shower, was thinking about uploading my video. Because it was 2 in the afternoon when I woke up, it was an appropriate time, so I uploaded the video, 1.23 update. I was looking forward to getting all the responses, all the comments on the video telling me, how great of a commentator I am and whatnot. And I go on GT Sport, just to celebrate the occasion, waiting for YouTube comments and the likes to come in, and I realized they updated the game again. So they changed a lot of things on this update. Obviously, it isn't as big of an update as the 1.23 update, given the fact there are no new cars, tracks, whatever. No new features to the game. They just made a lot of changes. One of the main changes I talked about in the last video that they need to make was the F1 car braking while downshifting. They did fix that, so good looks, Polyphony. That's awesome that you fixed that. Beyond that, there's a bunch of other minor things that they changed, things that don't really affect me, or there's still a community of people that it affects quite a bit. So I'm going to leave the patch notes up here, right here on your screen. But what I want to talk about is the BOP changes, because I have a strong opinion on these BOP changes. To be completely honest with you, I don't agree with a lot of them, and that's always fun to talk about things that you don't necessarily agree with. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the GR4 class, I'm going to contradict pretty much everything I just said. I actually agree with all of these GR4 changes. I feel like they all needed to be done. Based on, my experience with GR4 cars, which granted is a little bit less than my experience with GR3 cars. But with that being said, from what I've seen, from what I've watched, from what I've understood, based on racing with a lot of the top racers on this game, I understand that these changes do make a lot of sense to these particular cars. Now for the GR3 class. Ooh, okay. First one, Alfa Romeo 4C, 106 power to 105. Horrible, 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 horrible. They shouldn't have done this. This car did not need to get patched. I really have no clue why they did it. BMW M6 GT3 M Power livery and the Walken Motorsport one, Walken Horse Motorsport, both M6s. I feel like I'm on the fence about this. The fact they did it isn't completely tragic. I mean, the car was good, but I don't think it was necessary. BMW Z4 GT3, again, another horrible decision. Not as, obviously it's a lot worse than the M6 one, but again, it's on the level of the 4C. They just shouldn't have done it. There was no point. The car was really stable and had potential, but it wasn't very fast, so taking away the power really didn't do anything except make it worse, and it didn't need it. So, as you can tell, I'm not very fond of the update so far. Next one, Corvette C7 GR3. I agree with this. 100% needed to be done, especially the fact that you could save fuel with this car really easily because it makes most of its power down low. So I think this is definitely a change. I think they could have even gone to 101 and I wouldn't have minded it. But and regardless, bringing the power down, I thought that was definitely fair. SRT Viper, same thing as the M6. Didn't really need to be done, but again, it's not the end of the world. The car was pretty good, but I don't think it needed to be done. Mustang, same thing, but for different reasons. This car is really, really, really good on tracks like Monza, like the best on Monza, and tracks with a lot of straightaways. So it was basically a one-trick pony. That was probably the worst pun I think I've ever made on a YouTube video in my life. However, I definitely understand why they did this, but at the same time, I don't feel like it was needed. Ford GT LM Spec Test 2 car, I would say this is a good change. They're going in the right direction, but it's not enough. The car is still going to be overpowered. I think you could take 2% off this car and it would still be the best car. It's ridiculously overpowered. They screwed up with it and they didn't do enough to fix it. Jag, definitely, you don't see it. It doesn't handle very well. Giving it extra power definitely will help it. Kind of like a Mustang. It should be definitely on par with the Mustang now, I feel like, and that's probably a good thing. Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3. Now, this car here, it was brought down a few updates ago from 92 to 91. It never should have been brought down in the first place, so bringing it back up, perfect. That's it's good. They made the right decision to bring it back up. Lancer, it was a really good car, almost in the same category as the M6, except I understand it a little more with this car because this car was pretty damn good. So yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense. So the middle of the update from probably Chevrolet Corvette to Lancer, I think was actually pretty reasonably good. But after that, no, it's shitty again. The Porsche 911 RSR, worst decision made in the whole entire thing. I mean, this car at 103% power, its previous state, was making it in the top 10 quite often, quite regularly on most tracks. Now the fact that they brought the power back up, it's going to be 8 911s again in the top 10 on the leaderboards, and it's going to be just like a 911 shit show again. I'm telling you, I called it now, folks. I called it now. Given the stability of this car, giving it 104% power will benefit it greatly, and I feel like it's going to be overpowered again. Now, this one kind of hurts me, but the RS01, my pride and joy, the car that I drive 90% of the time with the BOP on and the BOP on for GR3, it lost a percentage of power. Now, I get why they did it. The RS01 definitely has a very, very high ceiling and max potential, but the thing that made it balanced was the fact it was really difficult to get off corners with it. It was kind of hard to drive. By decreasing the power, they actually made it easier to drive coming off of corners. So even though on high-speed tracks like Kyoto and a few other tracks, it's going to be worse because the power is going to be lower, I feel like this might be a blessing in disguise for this car. At least I'm hoping and praying, because again, this is the car I use all the time. So we'll see how it is, and hopefully it got better and not worse, because I don't feel like this car needed to be changed. The Toyota FT1 Vision Gran Turismo. This was a sleeper car after the latest update. I felt like a lot of people didn't realize how good the car got with the new physics compared to the other cars. It just suited the way the car handled, and when they're taking away more weight, this might become a meta car. Not to the level of the Ford GT or the 911, but I think this might be a car that people realize, holy crap, this thing's really, really good, especially because it has a pretty good top speed. Now it has less weight and it will handle even better, so keep out for that car. When people realize how good it is, I have a feeling it's no longer to be a sleeper. It might become one of those really popular cars, as I said. So beyond that, I feel like that's really the gist of it. I don't really need to talk much more about the update because the update was pretty small. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, be sure to leave a comment, and just on your opinion on the update and what they should have changed and what they shouldn't have changed. Be sure to click the notification bell and subscribe if you're new. It's been your boy AMS Dude, and I'm out. Peace.